Brad and Jeff ignore him. Crouch forward, spears high. Brad trips, falls into a bush. The pig snorts, looks at Brad and Jeff, and runs into deeper brush. Brad and Jeff holler like tribal idiots and race into the woods after the pig. Cobber and Bree look to Jasper. He is calm, Jasper. They'll be right back. In the distance, the sound of pig snorts. Jeff off screen. He's trapped. Brad off screen. Throw it! The sound of sticks bouncing off rocks. Jeff off screen. Whoa, shit! Silence. Beat. Jeff and Brad emerge at full speed from the underbrush, running toward Jasper, the pig hot on their heels. Jasper raises his machete high back over his shoulder. Brad and Jeff's eyes grow wide. Jasper, down! Brad and Jeff dive to the ground as Jasper hurls the machete sails end over end above their heads. The pig lets out a long, disconcerting squeal. External camp day. The pig roasts over the fire pit. Gary sits on the sand beside the pit and stares at the pig. Along the shore, Brad stands waist deep in the water holding onto a fishing line in his hands. Jasper wades out to him, carries a sharpened stick. Jasper, any luck? Brad, some nibbles, I think. Jasper, what are you using for bait? Brad, bait? Jasper walks 20 paces off and stares in the water. He raises the stick, thrusts it in the water, pulls out a large fish. He walks back to shore. Brad starts pulling in his line, wraps it around his hand as he makes faces behind Jasper's back. Resistance. He tugs easy, smiles, then gives the line a yank. He screams. Brad, ah! Only much louder. Later, Brad lies on his back on the bench. No, there's no bench. He lies on his back on the beach, near the campfire, surrounded by all the contestants. Jasper bends over Brad's crotch and works on the buried hook. Bree, why did you pull it? Brad, I thought I had a fish. Racine bends over, takes a good look at Brad's crotch. Racine, a minnow? Brad is about to respond when Jasper gives a yank. Brad screams and puts both hands on his crotch, bolts to a sitting position. Brad, you can't get off! Jasper, I resent your phrasing. Besides, it's just a little piece. Racine, a little piece is all there was. Jasper holds the hook up. A small piece of Brad's manhood dangles off it. Racine, finally circumcised. Jasper, now you've got bait. Brad, to Cobber, I need a doctor. Cobber, he doesn't make house calls. I can take you to the boat, but then you're out of the game. Brad, how about a fucking Band-Aid? Jasper pulls a condom from his pocket, holds it out. Everyone looks at it. Racine, is it extra small? Later. Yeah, that's it. Later, the campfire roars. The pig, badly butchered, remains on the spit feet away from the fire. Everyone but Brad and Courtney sit around the fire and eat as Cobber directs Alan's filming. Brad hobbles over from the woodline, his legs bowed. No, they're bowed. His legs bowed, his crotch the size of a melon. Courtney follows a few steps behind, mimics Brad's walk. Everyone chuckles as Courtney says, Racine, you're cold-hearted. Under that girl next door look. Courtney, what? I used the wrong kind of leaves. Bree, leaves of 3. Let them be. Courtney, I wasn't counting. Racine, girl, they'll give you tampons. Use those. Brad, I tried that, but they're so hard to get out. Beat. Nancy calls from inside the production tent. Nancy, OS. Cobber! Cobber! Something like that. Cobber runs for the tent. Jeff winks at Brad. Jeff, want me to rub some ointment on that? Racine, saliva is good for wounds. Interior, production tent, continuous. Nancy sits on the couch and stares at the TV as Cobber runs in. Nancy, I can't get lost. Cobber, why would you want to get lost? Nancy, pointing at the television. On the TV, all I get is that. Cobber, the dish must be out of line. Nancy, I'm really not interested in why, Cobber. Just fix it so I don't miss my show. External camp day. The sun is going down over the ocean. Near I thought I was going to sneeze, but I didn't. Near the campfire. Did cough, though. Near the campfire, Courtney, Racine, Nancy, Brad, and Bree sit holding marshmallows over the fire on stick. Racine to Nancy, sarcastically. So why you out here with us? TV broke? Nancy. Oh, I don't think so. Cobber needs to fiddle with the antenna or something. Bree. He does a lot, it seems. Nancy, you have no idea. Bree glances toward the hut curiously. Gary waddles from the woods, sits down next to Courtney. He leans over, breathes heavily. Courtney, are you all right? Gary nods, breathing too hard to answer. Racine, you sound like a 3-speed in 4th gear. Brad, I don't want to get personal, but what made you think you could win a survival contest? Gary slowly controls his breathing, looks around at them, lowers his head. Gary, I never planned on winning. Everyone waits for him to go on. Gary goes on. I just wanted to do something before I die. Nancy, listen, you're a little, a lot fat, but you'll be fine. Gary, I have cancer, maybe a week to live. Beat. Gary continues, I have no family, never had sex, never even left my hometown. I just didn't want to die without doing something.